Jesse Scarbrough, who got 6th place at the Louisville Regional. Show us what you played.
Played Pendulum Magicians, pretty budget. No Ash Blossoms, or Ass Blossoms as I like to call them. Been using this deck since last format. Used to get pooped on by Zoo, but now I'm pooping on Zoo, so I don't know, let's get into it. I'm going to do it a little backwards though compared to usual. Let's start off with the traps. I used one time Pendulum Graph. I only used one because I never wanted to draw it. I always wanted to search it. A lot of people say it's a must to have it too, but I didn't ever see it when I didn't want to, so I disagree.
Was there any time that you wanted to play two?
You know, I only banished it off Desires one time, and I guess you could say that made me want to play two that round, but I didn't need it. I ended up winning anyway, and I did that pretty often if I ever banished it off Desires. So, you know, it is a great card, but at the same time, I don't know, this deck's so good that you can just win without it a lot of the time. I also had one Pendulum Call. This was the MVP. The MVP towards the end of the day against some really good players. I played Clifton Land, and I got him to Ash Blossom. I think it was my Skull Crobat Joker at first, and then I went ahead and dropped this, and then just, I mean, it did the rest for me. It also saved me at the end of the day. I opened with it against a girl named Isabella. She was pretty good, but I mean, it got me where I needed to go. Started off with Omega and Tornado Dragon, 2 MVPs of the day. Did a lot of work. I did 2 Star Pendulum Graph just because this I do want to draw and I do want to see it. The quicker I get this, the rest I can get going and I can search the time Pendulum Graph.
Was there any time that you got Ghost Ogred or Ash your Pendulum Graph?
Yeah, I got the Pendulum Graph ashed like a couple times actually, but like at the end of the day, I don't think they realized that when they ashed this, it wasn't hurting me at all. Like this was just free. Like I don't know. I think they could have ashed something better, but I mean, no big deal, right? I also used 3 Pot of Desires. Where'd the other one go? There it is. Yeah, this card, always wanted to see it, never got ashed. Not once, and I was grateful for that. Honestly, they used the ash on this instead of this. I don't know what the problem is, but, you know, I would have used it on this personally. Then I used 3 Wavering Eyes. Whoever said this card was bad is bad. I don't care what they won or what they used. This card is OP, especially with Astrograph. Like, you just do so many broken things. I couldn't tell you, like, I probably wouldn't have gotten 6 had I not ripped this card and beaten, like, one of the best players I played all day just because of this one card that I ripped. It's so good.
Now, what about Ash and Wavering Eyes?
You know, I did get this ashed one time, but because they ashed this, they kind of missed the card they really needed to ash. So, I mean, I don't know. It just worked out for me all day, and whenever my opponents tried to Wavering Eyes me, I always seemed to have my own, so it was pretty cool.
What about your pretty eyes?
Yeah. 3 Duelist Alliance, such a great card. Rhoda for so many things in the deck. Gotta use 3 of it. I used 1 of the God card. I saw it like one time. I didn't even need it that one time. It was kind of just like insurance. I used 1 of the Pendulum Sorcerer. Didn't really feel like I needed any more than that. People don't realize you can use this in the scale with Wisdom Eye and still get Wisdom Eye's effect to, you know, pop itself and put a different magician there. So that was pretty cool. Used 1 Oath Dragon. I was alright. It did some cool things. There was a time I wish I had 2 because I found myself with an Oath Dragon and a Luster Pendulum, but no big deal. Ghost Ogre. I can't afford Ash, I won't lie. But,
so no Ash in the main.
No Ash at all. No, not even in the binders, not in the backpack, not with, no Ash, just Ogre. And honestly, this won at the end of the day for me. I was playing Isabella, and she won the die roll. She popped off, started with Time Pendulum Graph, Star Pendulum Graph, the nuts pretty much. But she got a Time Star out instead of like Omega or anything. So I knew she had the time, and I was just waiting for it. So once she popped it, I just popped it with this, and from there on, I kind of just got the dub. 2 Luster Pendulum, man, why the hell are people not using this card? Use this card, man. I couldn't tell you how many times I outed. I mean, I got around Ash with this card. I outed a lot of face-up stuff, diagrams for days, just hitting Purple Poison. This card and Purple Poison are best friends, and it's so good, dude. Plus, it puts something in your scale. or I'm sorry, your extra deck, so you can just special summon it. I don't know, dude. Pretty cool card. Definitely use this. It's an awesome card. 2 Black Fang. Man, I wish I had 3. I definitely wish I had 3. This card's so good. I don't know like why I decided to run 2, but 3 is definitely the number. I found both of mine banished in one game, and I was like, what do I do? I ended up losing that game. I came back and won the match, but like, man, definitely wish I had 3.
Yeah, Black Fang makes strike and warning just suck. So
I mean, you know, I didn't really have to worry about that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. I did play like I was playing around those cards just in case, but I really didn't see any of that for most of the day. I maybe saw like 1 strike or 1 warning all day. But the scale effect, man, the scale effect, that's where the magic happens, because it pops itself, it'll save you in those tight spots. People just forget about these scale effects. They really need to read these cards, man, because a lot of people are losing from not knowing what they do. 3 Harmonizing, this card's broke. Special summons a monster from the deck. You get this turn 1, you're probably going to win. You set up this Omega field with, well, you do Omega and then you get Tornado Dragon. It's just real hard to overcome that. Wisdom Eye. Man, this card gets away with murder because all people are using is Ash right now. Ash is good, but like, this card, man, it just goes around it all day. There's nothing you can do. Use Ghost Ogre, do it. Use both if you have to, but easily my favorite one, Purple Poison. Man, the scale effect alone just wrecked a lot of people today. Or I'm sorry, it wasn't today, it was Saturday, but I mean, man, dude. Sunday, whatever day it was, it's been a long week. But
get your geography right.
I had somebody, they were just like a desperation move trying to kamikaze jokers, and I was like, Purple Poison, and then I won. Like, they just don't pay attention. Plus it pops everything. This card does everything you want it to do. It's so good. 3 Double Irish just to search. You want to search. Love that card. 3 Stratos. Great card. 3 Astrograph Sorcerer. I don't know why people are only using 2. This card is the spiciest card in the whole deck. You can do so many things with it. It's broken. Man, I found out if one of my cards gets destroyed, but my opponent had destroyed one of their cards and we're playing a mirror match, say they did their Wisdom Eye that turn and then they destroyed one of my cards, I can drop this and search Wisdom Eye because their Wisdom Eye got destroyed. Shout out to Clifton for that advice. Kind of came back to bite him in the ass, whatever. And then the Spice, Fairy Tale Luna. You know, I thought it was gonna be a lot more effective than it was, but it was still really effective, especially the times that I got out 2 of them. I mean, yeah, you can send your monsters to the grave, but once you're sending your jokers back, like, or you're sending your jokers from deck to grave, like, that kind of sucks. So this card did exactly what I wanted it to do. I played against True Draco. This did like really good against Ignis Heat. Yeah, definitely 43 cards, definitely happy with the main deck. Probably I'd just add like another Black Fang. I don't know what I'd take out for it, but definitely I would add another Black Fang for sure.
now let's check out your extra.
So the extra deck, it's really funny because I have 15 cards in here, but I swear I used like maybe 6.
How often do you see Charizard?
8. I used 8 cards all day that day. Actually saw Charizard like probably 4 rounds. He was my little centerpiece. He's yeah, he gets out there. A lot of people are using their little team cards, whatever. I use Charizard. It's all good. But I'm just going to show you the cards that I actually used. Tornado Dragon and Omega. Just anytime I got both of these cards off, except for like maybe one game, I won every single game with these cards, especially starting with them. Next I used a Time Star Magician. It came up a couple times. Wasn't anything special like it was in testing. In testing it was crazy. In the tournament, pretty much just Tornado Dragon and Omega. Like, probably could have just won all day with just these 2 cards. But yeah, he's good. Castell, he was mediocre. Decode Talker was alright. Abyss Dweller actually did really well against True Dracos, I'm not gonna lie. They couldn't get their graveyard effects on their spell and trap cards. And then Ignister. I used all those cards. They all did well. And I had a bunch of other cards that I didn't use once. I mean, the second Time Star never came up. The Supreme Kings, pretty freaking awesome cards, just never came up. Got this Lightning right before the tournament, never had to use it. Trapeze Magician, thought about bringing him out a couple times just because I thought I could OTK. Nope, didn't do it. No OTK. I still won, but just no OTK.
So it was a no TK?
It was a no TK. And then I borrowed this Beals from a buddy. And the reason I call this budget, even though I have a Beals in it, is because I didn't use it. So
Not one.
not a single time. It never came up. I mean, like, outed Masterpiece with other things. Like, not worried about it. Like, really, dude, you could just use Purple Poison for all your needs, man. Purple Poison's the truth. Not gonna lie about that. So, yeah, really, I mean, just get these 7 cards in your extra deck. I'm sure you could go win a YCS or Nats. Do what you gotta do, man. And then the side deck. So there are a lot of cards in the side deck I didn't use either.
Any
Starting
techs
with-
that he's thinking? Before that he wasn't able to get?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna use like Cosmic Cyclones and Dimensional Barriers and, you know, all that jazz.
So
but
no D barriers, no cyclones.
Nah, I didn't use any of that jazz. Couldn't get it.
Okay, let's check this out.
Used a freaking Raigeki. Didn't ever side it in. It was just there. I used the Kaijus. I love the Kaijus. In testing, they were insane because you can just Kaiju somebody, Luna it back, Pendulum summon your Lunas, Kaiju, Luna it back, Kaiju, Luna it back. So you just Kaiju 3 monsters in one turn. That didn't happen in the tournament because I never saw it. Slumber, I don't know how I feel about it just because I drew a Kaiju and the Slumber in a duel, so I don't know. I didn't like it because I couldn't use its search effect, and then I lost that duel because I couldn't get anything going. I didn't have any scales, so the Kaijus themselves were definitely worth using. And I used the 7s because I wanted to Pendulum summon them. So definitely, I like the Kaijus. They were alright. I used Lancia, but I never saw it. Sided it in against ABCs, and I kind of just wrecked my ABC matchups. I don't know, you know, if it was the players or I just got better hands or what, but like I really had no trouble with ABCs at all. And one of them was the Draco variant, so, and they got out Masterpiece. I just Kaijus. Leonidas, this man saved my life against tricksters. They did the field spell to search, and then they started attacking me. Well, when they do battle damage, the field spell does effect damage, and I had nothing but this in my hand, and it dropped, and they couldn't get around it, and I won because of that. So definitely use Leonidas. Damn near use it in any deck, not just Pendulums. It's really good in Pendulums, but so good in everything else. Another card that saved my life, picked this one up right before the tournament. Zephion, man. This card wrecks True Draco. I wanted to side it in more, but like I'm using the Lunas, so there goes my normal summon. I'm using the Jokers, there goes my normal summon. So I was really scared about getting too many cards I wanted a normal summon in my hand. So I was very cautious about what I sided this against. I also didn't want to side it against the Pendulum Mirror match because Time Pendulum Graph could just target it and then it doesn't destroy it, but then they get the Send effect. So really, I don't know. True Dracos, though, they do not want to see this card ever, and I don't blame them because it's an awesome card. So back to not getting the Cosmic Cyclones in time. I had to use Typhoons instead.
Typhoon,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I mean, I don't know. In theory, it would have been good, especially like, you know, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Imperial Order, all that jazz, but the times I saw it, it was ineffective. You know, being able to activate it when your opponent goes first, that's cool, but like I just never saw it in the scenario, so I don't know how I feel about it. I have the Cyclones now, so I'd probably just use those, but if you don't, that card's pretty good. And then the MVP by far of the day, Chaos Trap Hole.
MVP card.
Please tell me why you're not using this card. It's so good. It's good against True Draco. If they summon Dinko Sekka against you, I don't know why they would, but if they did, goodbye Dinko. And then if I Pendulum summon, let's look. They're pretty much all light and dark monsters. Goodbye. For good. None of their effects go off. And
Did
that's
you
what,
ever use it against a Pendulum summon?
Oh, yeah. The very end of the day I used it. She summoned the 2 Black Fangs. You were talking about trying to play around Solemn Strikes and stuff with those Black Fangs. Well, it's all cool and fancy, but you can't play around this with that. So it was kind of GG
Chaos
at the.
Trap Hole.
It was GG once I flipped this card. I mean, this card, insane. Like if I could throw another one in, I probably would, but I don't know. I think 2 did justice. Definitely love this card. But yeah, man. So shout out to all the good players that I made friends with, and I learned a lot from yesterday or from Sunday. I learned a lot from all of those players. Shout out to the Heart of the Cards, because I honestly would not have won if it didn't exist. It's a real thing. Believe in the Heart of the Cards. Yeah, shout out to the guys giving me the opportunity to do this deck profile. And
Was that your grandpa's deck?
this is my no, this isn't. But yeah, just keep on keeping on, guys. Find a deck you like. Don't just pick something up and start playing with it because it's the meta. Learn your deck, know your deck. Been playing this deck for a while. Got my ass kicked by Zeus for